Let's do a quick check-in, shall we, on Snow White and the trailer for it, because at last count, it's sitting at 8 million views. It's got 40,000 upvotes, so let's give it a little round of applause for that. Well done. And it's also got 1 million downvotes. It's reached the big one. Yeah, so that gives it a 96% downvote ratio, which I think makes it one of the worst trailer ratios on the whole of YouTube ever. It is the worst. I checked. For my last video, I checked, and I think last year, the two most ratioed were the Magical Society of Magical Negroes, that got 91% dislike, and Snow White has 96%. And incidentally, Amanda Stenberg's Discourse video also got 96% dislike.
Wow. Ooh, wow. Not my remix, though. I think my remix is pretty low.
It's superb.
That gets recommended to me like every fucking day. Every day I scroll through YouTube, I see my face superimposed on Amanda Stenberg's afro head. Harry Chan.
I didn't. It wasn't until I did my Acolyte video just recently I came to appreciate how hot she actually is when she's properly dressed up. Like, I did not see that coming at all.
She's top gear. There's no question. And it's a good reminder, you know, because as a society, we sort of put beautiful women on a pedestal, and you're like, no, they could be absolutely horrible people.
Amanda,
everybody else.
You were so incredibly cringe. People didn't realize you were hot. Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, all the comments in my video were like, if she'd been wearing that dress or looking like that during the Acolyte, I would have watched it.
Disney have this amazing ability. They make women look uglier. Do you know? Yeah. Do you ever see Echo, that stupid show about the deaf Native American?
Yeah.
Like when I saw her like at the actual premieres, it's like she's a nice looking woman. She's not incredible or anything, but she's pretty. But she looked like shit in that show.
We should also point out she was like pregnant for some of like the reshooting of that.
Oh, okay.
So
fair enough.
I do think that's one of the reasons that she maybe looked a little bloated and also was covered up in like certain ways because she was like they had to deal with that.
I'd been told by someone who worked in wardrobe like way before it came out that there was the pregnancy, I think, for the reshoots, but she also had put on like 20 pounds and she did Hawkeye, and that was like, yeah, she looked like shit in the costumes. She was pretty uncomfortable with it, and like, you know, it was just kind of a bad situation all around. But it's like, well, this is your starring moment, man. You'd think you could at least get into the gym and get in shape for it, but I guess
did anybody see Argyle? Like, I know Bryce Dallas Howard. She came on set. She must have been at least 50 pounds overweight. And I was just
maybe 50, but yeah, she's definitely big.
$200 million budget. And look at fucking what Chris Hemsworth does, right? For his roles. Like that guy absolutely tortures his body. Like, and he does these carb cycling, and he does dehydration for his scenes. Like he damages his body to look like that. And then, you know, Bryce Dallas Howard shows up like that, and if you say anything about it, you're a sexist.
Yeah, it's the same thing with a lot of male actors, right? That's like to be expected and understood that that's what they're going to do to try to make sure they're believable in these roles and all this shit. Chris Pratt, same thing, you know, whatever he's doing, he'll transform his body for it. But yeah, you mean you look at Bryce Dallas Howard through those Jurassic World movies. As her waistline went up, the box office results went down, right?
Because, like, you know that she can get in shape because she did it for the first one, and she was looking great in that one. Like, she was properly, she was built for that.
And in the second one, she's like, okay, she got a little thick, but all right.
Well, you could tell that they were having to
the fucking flannel. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell they were having to cover up, and it's like she's got more and more layers on with each movie, and it's like, okay, I know what you're trying to hide here. And then by the time she does Argyle, it's like no fucks were given anymore. It's just like just roll her onto set and do what you can with it.
Roll her.
And you know what? I'm not like, because it might seem like I'm being harsh, like, but Despot's exactly right. Like.
Yeah,
I've got no sympathy for people like this, because it's like your one fucking job is to get in shape for the role that you're playing. Okay, you don't have a day job that you have to go to. You don't have other responsibilities. Yeah, the studio will assign you a personal trainer. They'll come up with an exercise plan and a fitness regime and dieting and everything for you. You just have to stick to it. That's it. And you're going to get paid $10-15 million for doing it. And you can't even manage that.
You can, if you really need to, you can do what all the guys in Marvel do. You can take drugs to get your body to look like that, because they all do that. You know, there's no way they can look like that without juicing.
the Marvel, they've got like a 6 or 8 week program where they tell them exactly what to eat, exactly how to work out, and what drugs to inject into themselves to turn like Paul Rudd into the Paul Rudd we had seen like the entirety of his career into who we saw in Ant-Man, right? It's like,
yeah, because he's like 50 and he's like shredded in that. Like,
well, Chris Pratt, it's funny because Chris Pratt was still doing Parks and Rec. Right, he was still playing Andy Dwyer in Parks and Recreation when he got the job for Guardians of the Galaxy. And in between seasons, he lost all the weight and got fucking jacked, right? And obviously, it was weird, right, to see like this season difference. So they just did one thing. Adam Scott's character, they're just walking up the stairs, and he's like, "Man, you look really good, man." He's like, "Oh, thanks, man." He said, "Really? All you stopped doing was drinking beer?" He's like, "Yep, that's it." And they just moved on from it. That was how they addressed his body transformation in the show.
It is funny though, because in every Marvel movie where there's a dude, he'll have a shirtless scene, and obviously he's going to get in shape for that. Why is there no shirtless scenes for the girls? I wonder. There's not even like a bikini scene or anything. There's just nothing.
The best like plot breaking body fat I remember, it was like body shape. I remember it was from Lost. Did anybody remember the show Lost?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a really fat guy on the island.
Harley.
But the problem
Harley.
was there wasn't Harley, but there wasn't a lot of food on the island. But the actor didn't lose any weight, and eventually this became a problem for the story. It's like, okay, the audience is wondering why this guy's able to maintain this massive body mass without all the junk food. So they made an episode where he has a stash of junk food that he got from the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to like account for it in the fucking story.
I think I still love the bit in The Walking Dead where Negan is like squeezing this community for like all their resources, and like one of the women there tries to complain about it, like, "Oh, we're practically starving," and she's like massive, and he just looks at her and goes, "Really?" She just bursts out crying.
Oh yeah, but Snow White sucks.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Snow White.
Yeah, I love how we went off on that big fat hating tangent there.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but
I mean, I think it's just Snow White. It's the most talked about movie never released.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? 2 months away? Like
2
it's
months.
March. It's coming out. Yeah. Wow.
It's gonna be bad, right? Like,
No way.
so Little Mermaid. There was a lot of backlash.
Some prediction, Ryan.
So what I'm saying is there's a lot of backlash towards Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid flopped, lost money at the box office. It floundered at the box office. Okay.
Ooh, sank without a trace, you might say.
Yeah, there you go. But it's a different story for this one because the backlash is overwhelming. 96 fucking %. This is not a couple people upset about something on Twitter or whatever. There's not a couple YouTube videos going viral. This is a massive rejection of the entire thing. Out of 8 million people that watch it, only 40,000 click the like button. So to me, that's telling me that this is going to be a pretty historic flop for them.
Well, how many of those do you think are real?
It's only 40,000. Probably those ones. Yeah.
No, I meant
if
like
they weren't real, if they were fake and someone was botting it, don't you think they'd bot it to higher than fucking 40,000 likes?
That's what I'm saying. That's the actual usual bot amount. We're seeing it in totality there. Like, who the fuck would like that trailer?